I'm going to carry on the theme of our play food for children, and we're going to do these peas in a pod, and each one comes out. You can put whichever face you want on it, whether you've got happy, sad, and they just pop straight back in. So it's lovely for the children to play with. So obviously we're making all 4 pieces today, and it's very simple to do. Single crochet all the way around and just embroider on the eyes with a French knot. So we're going to need wool, so I'm going to change the colour of this one so we can compare them, or maybe swap the peas around. Black for the eyes. I always use a 2mm hook, and I always work with cotton because it makes such a tighter stitch, so you can't see the stuffing through them. Needle to sew in the ends, stitch marker, and a pair of scissors. We're going to start by making the actual pod itself, this one. So we need to start with this foundation chain here. So we are going to chain 26. So we start off with a slip knot, like so. And just chain 26. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4. No, didn't like that one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. We have a chain of 26. We're going to work our way back down, but we need to go into the second chain from the hook. So this one here is our first one. This one's our second one. So we're going to go straight into that one there. We're going to single crochet in the next 23. So this is number 1. Number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. And then we need to do an increase in this next stitch here. It's 1 and 2. And we're going to work our way back down the other side now. So we're going to go into every stitch. There's going to be 24, and at the same time I'm going to hide this end. So this is our first one. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep that end tucked in, come through. So it's number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Didn't go through all 3. There we go. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I'm not happy with that one. Let me do that one again. It's better. 22, 23, and this last one here is number 24. So it's at this point I'm going to pop my stitch marker in because we're working in the round now. Now round 2 we're going to increase into the next 2 stitches. So 2 stitches in the next one. That's 1 and number 2, and in the next stitch we're going to do another 2 stitches. Like so. And now we're going to do 21 stitches of single crochets. So this is number 1 and 2. If you carry on, as soon as you get to 21, I'll meet you there. Now I've just done my 21st stitch, so now I'm going to do 4 increases for this corner round. So it's 2 in the first one, 2 in the second one, 2 in the third one, and 2 in this 4th stitch. Now we need to do another 21 stitches down this side. So I will meet you once you've done your 21st stitch. I've just done my 21st stitch, which leaves us these 2 stitches here. So we're going to do an increase in these last 2 stitches. So that's 1. I can get them in. And then I need to remove my stitch marker for the last 2. So that's the end of round 2. Pop your stitch marker back in. Round 3, we're going to increase in the next 2 stitches. So this is our first one hidden here. missed the front bit of it. There we go, that's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to work up the side. This time we need to do 26 single crochets. So if you'd like to carry on, I will meet you once you've made 26. Just on my 26th stitch, and in the next 3 we're doing an increase. So this is the first one, there's 2 in that one, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. And now we're going to carry on and do 26 single crochets down the other side, and I'll meet you after your 26th. Now I've just completed my 26th stitch, and we're just going to do 1 increase in this last stitch. And replace your stitch marker. That's the end of round 3. The round 4, we're going to do 3 increases to begin with. So we have 1 here, and this next stitch here is number 2, and this one is number 3. And then we need to carry on down the side for 29 single crochets. So I will meet you once you've done your 29th stitch. Now we need to do an increase in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1 with an increase. This is number 2 for an increase. And number 3. And then we need to finish this side with another 29 single crochets. So if you carry on, I'll meet you after the 29th. Now your 29th stitch should have been under your stitch marker. So now you've got 70 stitches on your piece of work. Now we're just going to be doing a single crochet into every stitch all the way around, and we're going to do that for 10 rounds. So for rows 5 through to row 14 is 1 single crochet into every stitch. So I will meet you back once you've completed row 14. I've just finished off row 14 and I've got my yarn. I'm going to cut a length of it because we need to sew in the first 4 stitches of each side. So not only do I need enough to do this first section here, I need to trail it along the inside to carry on over the other side. So let's just cut that one off. And we're going to pull the yarn through. But first we need to do a slip stitch. So you've done your last stitch of that round. So a slip stitch is you go into the next stitch, pull the yarn through, and you pull it straight the way through your loop that you've already got. So that is your slip stitch. Now we need to find your needle. And we're going to thread the end to sew this end in over here. There we go. So what we need to do is we need to fold it flat, and then you're going to do the first 4 stitches. So we can count back. I ignore this first bit because that's on the bend. That's difficult to do. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to work my way up here first so that this bit looks neater. So I'm going to ignore this first one and go in the second one. So this is where I'm starting, and then I can work back the 4. And it pulls it in quite nicely then. And we're going to go through the next stitch. So this is number 2. You find the number 2 on the other side, which will be that one hidden under there. Go through the next stitch, pick up one on the other side, that's number 3, and lastly number 4, like so. So that's holding the end together quite nicely. Now I want to hide the wool on the inside, so I'm literally going to go back through the next one, but just through one of them, like that. And I'm going to give it a bit of a tug, keep it tight. We don't want any stitches being floppy. And then I'm just going to tuck it through the back here, so it can't be seen. It just seems a shame to cut it off and then start at the other end, because you're going to run the risk of it undoing whilst children are playing if it hasn't got a lot that it's being kept on with the yarn. At least this way, if you know that if it is going to come loose, it's all one piece. You haven't got other bits that have started and stopped. Almost there. So just double check what we've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to finish about here. There we go, and it's all hidden. So we re-double check. That's our end one. I ignore that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come back through that one and get it through, like so. And I'm going to go in through the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it round, go back through the next stitch, pick up the next one, and just keep weaving your way back through. Now that looks secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back through this one. Oops. So we can't see where it's gone in, and hide it through the middle here, like so. Give it a tug, keep it tight, and we're just going to lose our thread back through this one. I'm going to keep it on the same side. This is just to fasten it off. I'll work my way down on this one to hide it down. Oh, come out. Use my pliers, it's a lot easier for me. There we go. And then we're going to snip that bit off. And there we have the pod ready. Now we're going to start off with round 1, which is our magic circle. And if you aren't competent or want more help with the magic circle, there is another video that is really slowed down which will help you. So we wrap the yarn around your fingers and make a cross. Go under the first one and pull up that second one. Then we're going to go back to our end of the yarn and hook it over and pull it through, and that is the start of our magic circle. Now what we need to do is we go through the magic circle and pull up the yarn. So this is going to be our first single crochet in the magic circle. So we need 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one is number 6. This is where we're going to add our stitch marker. I always do it on the last stitch of every round, so I know which one I'm finishing on. So we'll pop that one in there. Now if you find that this end is too baggy or floppy, you pull on the actual circle itself, this end. I won't do it too much because mine's not too bad on this one, but yeah, gently put it like that and it brings it in tighter. But to close the ring, we need to hold the other one and give it a tug, like so. So there we have our magic circle with 6 single crochets. For round 2, we are going to make it slightly bigger, so we are going to increase into every stitch. So let's get this tail end out of the way. We need to find the first stitch, which is this one here, and you need to go through both loops. So through both, pull the yarn through. So now you have 2 on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. That is 1 of your stitches. We're going to go straight back in the same hole, pull up another yarn, and this one is your second. So that's your increase you've just done in that first stitch. So we're going to do it all the way around, so we need 12 altogether. So for every stitch you are putting in 2 single crochets. Excuse my tummy rumbling. And then we go on to the third one. And put the second one in our third one. Stitch number 4, which will total 8 stitches on this one. And then we're going into number 5. And the last one is number 6. There we have it. Now for row 3, we are going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to do an increase in the second, so 2 in this one. And then we're going to go back to doing 1 single crochet in the next stitch, followed by your increase in the next one. So we're going to follow this pattern all the way around. 1 single crochet followed by an increase. So this is our single crochet, and the next one is our increase stitch. So if you carry on, I'll meet you back once you've moved your stitch marker. Round 4, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets. So this is our first one in our first stitch. Move on to our second stitch, that's number 2, and in the third stitch around we're going to be doing our increase, so 2 in this one. And we repeat that pattern all the way around, so 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then in the one after that we're going to do an increase, so 2 in the same stitch. So if you'd like to carry on with that same pattern, I'll meet you after your stitch marker. Now row 5 is our last increase round, so we're going to be doing 3 single crochets and then your increase. So this is 1 and this is 2, and the next stitch is number 3. Then we're going to be doing an increase in this one, the 4th stitch. So 2 stitches in that same one. There we have it. So you carry on with that pattern, 3 single crochets followed by an increase, and I will meet you back after your stitch marker. Now for round 6 through to round 9, so that's the next 4 rounds, we are just going to be doing 1 single crochet into every stitch. So you've got 30 stitches on your work at the moment. Oh, stitch marker's getting in my way. So we are literally 1 single crochet all the way around for 4 rounds. So if you'd like to carry on, I'm going to meet you back at round, well, once you finish round 9, so we're about to start round 10. Now for round 10 we're going to start decreasing. So I always start with my decrease on these rounds. So we pick up the front loop of the next stitch, like so. Then we go and we pick up the front loop of the second stitch. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through both of those stitches. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through. So that is our decrease. And now we need to do our 3 single crochets. We're doing everything in reverse now. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. So then we're going to carry on with that pattern. So we're going to do another decrease. So it's the front loop of the next 2 stitches. So that's our first one. And there is our second one. Pull it through those 2 front loops. And then yarn over again and pull through 2. That's your decrease. And then your 3 single crochets. 1, 2 and 3. So if you'd like to carry on, decrease, 3 single crochets, I'll meet you after your stitch marker. Row 11 we're going to be doing our decrease and then 2 single crochets. So the front loops of the next 2 stitches, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, and then 2 single crochets. That's 1 and 2. So if you'd like to carry on, decrease, then 2 single crochets. I will meet you after your stitch marker. Row 12 we're going to do a decrease and then 1 single crochet. So this is our decrease, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. It's important to keep your work quite tight because you don't want stuffings showing through. So this is your decrease, and then the next one here is 1 single crochet. And if you carry on, I'll meet you again after your stitch marker. Now before we go on to round 13, which will be the last round, we need to stuff. So I'll stuff in, I just use the end of my hook, my handle, and just feed it in. Just tuck it right up around the top. Surprising how much stuffing you can actually get in. I think that should be quite enough. And now we're on our last decrease round. So this is round 13, where we literally every stitch is going to be a decrease one. So the front loops of the next two is our decrease, and then go around to the next two stitches here. Try not to bring up any stuffing with it. And then the next two. Keep working your way around. And the next one should be our last one. Yeah, here we go. One in here. Take my stitch marker out. Pick up the next one. Just snip off the yarn. And this is where we're just going to close the hole in. So we need to thread our needle. We're going to pick up each loop. So this one here is our first one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one here is our last one, number 6. There we have it. And then you're going to hold your finger and thumb and gently tease it through. You don't want it to snap off, but you want it to close the hole, like so. And then I literally go back through to pull the bulge down, straight through the other end. Any way you like, it doesn't matter, you're not going to see it. Oh, this is where I have trouble putting the needle in. I'm going to have to use my grips. That's better. Give it a gentle tug so it makes it all nice and smooth. And then we're just going to lose this end. So we just feed it backwards and forwards any way you like. And just snip the end off. So that is your first pea in the pod. So we need to make 3 of these all together. So when you've done your 3, I'll meet you back and we can put the eyes and the mouth on. To pop the peas inside, so push each end one along so we can get the middle one in. And I'm going to work out where to pop the face on them. Now I've threaded my needle already with 2 strands of the cotton yarn. So they come with 6 strands on them. So I've just peeled 2 off, tied a knot in the end. Now as you can see when they're placed in here, we're going to want the eyes about here. So I will go through one hole and up another one just to hide the knot in the end. So there it is, we just give it a little tug, it's inside. So now with a French knot, we need to hold the needle and with the base of the yarn, go round 5 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want to go in somewhere different but close. So you want it to catch in your work. If you put it in the same hole, it'll come straight back out. So whilst it's there, give this one a little bit of a tug to make it neat. And then we're going to count 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to come up in this one, which is just there. Pull the yarn gently through. There's your French knot. So we'll do that again on this side. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull it down to the base. And we're going to go slightly above it so it catches the work in there. And now for the mouth, I'm going to come out 1 stitch from below the eye. I think that's 1 stitch, might actually be 2, doesn't matter, it's your mouth, put it wherever you like. And there's your 2 French knots. So I need to match it up on the other side. Where are we? This row here. So I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to come back up the same stitch in case I have to go twice. It depends what it looks like. No, 1's enough. So there's our happy smiley pea. I'm going to go slightly next to it and just hide this yarn through your work. I generally go through the same hole because obviously we don't want black showing through, but it will gather through the stuffing on the inside to hold it secure in loads of different places. So if you just keep going in and out a few times, but go back through the same hole, it will catch up in the stuffing and it will hold it secure. So I think that should be enough. Snip the end off. Give it a squish, it will disappear. And there is our smiley face, ready to go back in our pod. So you carry on with the others and I'll show you where mine's finished. Okay, now all my faces are on. You can pop them in. Here are your peas in a pod. And the great thing about them is you can do them in any colour you like. And if you want to swap and change them, let's see what they look the other way. You can pop the darker ones, ooh, juggling, darker ones in here. And the lighter ones in here. They make a lovely toy for a child, play food. Have them in a greengrocer's store. So there we have our peas in a pod. So if you like the video, please maybe like, subscribe, and I'll try another food item next week. Thank you.